business. If you run your own operations, most of the time you're spending time, actually wasting time, on things that don't add value to your business. If you are a computer science graduate, you studied a lot, hard, years and years, and then you are there to substitute hard disk drives or to perform a very boring operations, running data centers, running hardware, running infrastructure. That's not your value and that's not your business. You have to have someone else to take care of this and focus on your value. That's how you run your business. That's how you are successful. I want to be very honest about this. Cloud is a big hype. Most people are talking about cloud computing and they don't know what they're talking about. I don't have a definition here for you for cloud computing. I just told you these are the advantages. This is why people are using it. This is why people are buying cloud computing, because it saves money, it saves time, it saves efforts. It changes the way you manage your IT forever. Look at this. This is a graph that explains a lot of things. Two very important things. The first one, we have a traditional infrastructure in place. This is your capacity here. This is time. If you have a traditional data center, let's say you already have 100 servers. This is your capacity. Stays constant over time. Then you say, well, you know, my prediction, and that's an important keyword, prediction, my prediction here says that my capacity is not going to be enough in 2 months. So you plan for a large investment, a lot of money, you buy 50 more servers, then these servers are shipped to your data center, to your facility, you unbox them, you put them into racks, you plug them, you power them, you connect them to the internet, you check if the cooling is okay, if you have enough power, electricity, if you have enough space and everything else. You set up all these machines. After weeks, months, you have this capacity in place. And your capacity goes up and on and on. But in the real world, the actual demand for capacity is much more like this red line here. And I have many examples like this. You run payrolls. You need CPUs on the 25th of each month, and then you don't need them for the rest of the month. You run backups during the night. You don't need backup storage or capacity during the day. Or do you run specific operations that are used during working hours, like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.? You don't need capacity from 5 p.m. back to 8 a.m. the next day. So your use of capacity is going to be like this. Not because you're a strange guy, because this is how most companies run their operations. So the efficiency of your resources is going to be very low. And this area here is unused capacity. This is capacity you paid for, capacity you're not using. This is a waste of money. A full waste of money. Money, time, employees, space, power, everything. A huge waste. Second problem, here, let's say you're very successful. You're running a software as a service company. You provide software to your customers like via a web browser. And then all of a sudden your sales guy or your business developers come and say, hey, we sold 100 solutions to 100 customers. Great success. Your needs goes like this, up. But your capacity can't cope with that needs. You lose opportunities, you lose customers. You have to tell them, you have to wait, we don't have enough servers for you. That's a very bad business decision, right? You're losing money, opportunities. So two big problems, how you solve them? It's very easy. You need a virtualized infrastructure that can scale up and down accordingly to your needs. Something like this, something like Amazon Web Services. So I want to make an overview of some of these services because we are talking about cloud computing services, but I guess that most of you have a rough idea of what Amazon Web Services are, but actually you don't really know the details of each one of them. Think of them, do you know Lego? I used to play Lego when I was a kid. Do you know Lego toys? The bricks and things? So think of Lego as basic building blocks. Here you have building blocks. Each service, you can use them by themselves or you can use them all together in conjunction with each other. Storage, virtual servers, content delivery, auto-scalable database, relational database, etc. Each one of these services, is able to provide you a specific thing. For example, Amazon S3. Most people think of storage as an easy thing, right? I'll tell you a few things about Amazon S3 and I will change your mind. Amazon S3, you put a file into Amazon S3, we call it an object. That file is replicated multiple times in multiple data centers. These data centers are on different power grids, different floodplains, multiple tier 1 bandwidth providers, which means that if one entire data center is destroyed by an earthquake, or Godzilla comes out of the water and destroys it, or a flood, any kind of disaster, the other data centers are gonna be there. Your copies, your additional copies of your files are gonna be there. This means a very durable storage. What about losing your data? Have you ever think about it? You can think, well, I can do this by myself. Let's buy hard disk drives and put them in my office, or burn DVDs. What happens if you lose your data? It's a lot of money, I think. Here, you have multiple copies in multiple data centers. And this comes at a very low price. We don't charge for additional copies. You pay only for the single copy. We take care of additional copies. And in fact, if one of the additional copies is destroyed because the hard disk drive fails or whatever, we replace them. You don't even have to know it. What you need to know is that you have APIs, application program interfaces, to say, upload this file, and we take care of making it durable. You don't have to worry about that. That's not your job. That's not the value. Amazon EC2, virtual servers. You can run many versions of this, many sizes of this, like the small one, the medium one, the large one. Each one of them has different characteristics, like memory, CPU power, storage, etc. You can run Linux, Windows, OpenSolaris on EC2. And when you want to do this, you do a simple API call and you say, I want an EC2 instance. After a few minutes, you will have 1 or maybe 10 or maybe 20 EC2 instances at your disposal. You are root on these machines. You are administrator. You have full power on these machines. You can do everything you usually do on a physical machine. You can run software, you can install things, you can configure things. You can do anything on these machines. You are God on these machines, okay? And you can run any machine you want. Small, medium, large ones. You can run 1, 20, 100, 1,000. We had a customer a few months ago that went from 80 to 3,500, 3,500 machines in 3 days. The guys here at RightScale, one of our partners, helped them scale this huge number of machines. This is something incredible. You couldn't have something like this 3 years ago, 4 years ago. This was not possible. Now it is possible. You can scale up and down, out and in, the number of machines, the size of your machines, in a few minutes with API calls. You don't have to call us. You don't have to do anything. You just need a credit card. Really, this is something, incredible. CloudFront, do you know how a CDN works? Raise your hand if you don't. If you don't. You don't. Okay, you have a content, let's say a website, and this content has to go worldwide. The old way to do things was, I have a server, I have storage in this location, let's say in Hanover, in Germany. But the guy in Australia downloading your files is not really happy because download rates and latency are very bad. What you do, you cache content in edge locations. We call them edge locations. So that content is cached, for example, in Hong Kong or Tokyo or Miami or New York. And then people around these areas, when they try to download that content, they will get it from the closest location, so performance will be better. This is a CDN. CloudFront is the Amazon Web Services content delivery offer. But what is really interesting about CloudFront is that instead of asking you commitments, like, I want you to spend at least $10,000 a month, otherwise it will not give you a CDN. You can use this for your personal blog. I'm